Coffee break read The Ultimatum from Times of Change, the second part of Transgressor Trilogy of Fortune's Fool's Book by E.M. Swifthook. The expression of compassion on her companion's face made her realise that she was not dissembling with her usual skill, and that her thoughts must be plain on her face. Fortunately, he was her friend as well as the most senior member of her council. Her hand was still clenched tightly on the letter he had given her, its heavy seals broken, neatly splitting the arrogant emblem of Cabal Vyazin, a fist in a plate metal gauntlet, holding aloft a sword on which had been speared a crown. Harkira's crown, she had thought when reading the domineering demands within. "I'm sorry, Morvin," she said sincerely. "There's been so much happening over these last few days, and now this." The man nodded with understanding. "It has been a testing time for us all, and so much more for you as regent," he agreed. "In 8 generations nothing like this has been received by any Harkiran ruler, and yet now it is you, a widow, someone who has no blood claim to the crown in your own right, who is being called upon to deal with the declaration of war." She knew he said it to show he felt it was unfair, and not to suggest he had no faith in her ability, and looked away from him, her eyes dropping demurely as if in agreement. He could not know that she had been trained from birth to deal with this day. She unfolded the vellum in her hands and read the text again. "His Most Excellent and Puissant Highness, the Most Honoured Cabal Vyazin, Overlord of the Western Continent and Protector of all the free cities of Temsavar, demanded the submission of his loyal vassal, the Lady Carlin Russell, Princess of the Realm of Harkira, and all her family, together with all the castellans and vavassors of Harkira. She was required to present herself within 1 moon at the Overlord's loyal city of Tobruth, together with all the nobles of Harkira, to make due submission to the Overlord and to affirm their loyalty and vassalage to him by blood oath. In addition, she was required to bring with her in change the rebellious traitor, Jerik Zarangor, who was known to be sheltering in Harkira under false pretences. She was also required to bring an appropriate bridal train and the Harkiran regalia of office, and prepare herself for the honour of marriage with the most honoured Nariz Syazin, Castellan of Telpus, the only son and sole heir of the most honoured Overlord." "How old is Nariz?" she asked quietly. 4 or 5 summers, I believe, and is reportedly a sickly child. For all his potency as a warrior, Cabal has not proved so capable of fathering offspring. There are even rumours that the child is not his, but was sired by one of his commanders." Morvin tactfully refrained from mentioning which one, but Jaelia had heard the same stories. "A child of 5, and Carlin more than twice his age." With an angry gesture she flung the vile letter down. In a matter of days her whole world had changed. Linaz was taken, and Tobruth, for all the Castellan had spoken fine words of resistance and alliance, had surrendered without a fight as soon as Vyazin's army appeared on the horizon, whilst Kazabad had accommodated before it was even threatened. Their reward was being allowed to keep power with a client status to Cabal. The cities of the Tanist Alliance were fighting among themselves, and now Harkira stood alone. For a moment Jaelia felt the weight of the burden upon her shoulders as something physical. What hope was there for Harkira against such power? But the image in her mind was of Carlin, gently reared into the free-thinking, liberal Harkiran high culture, alone and at the mercy of the harsh, barbaric court of Cabal Vyazin. Morvin might have read her thoughts. "The wedding won't happen. Diwan will support you in refusing to allow it. I promise you that." His voice dropped a little. "It will mean war, of course. But we've expected that all along."